Hi, and welcome to what's new in the File Manager on Commander Pro version 4.9. And since I haven't done any video since 4.6, I think, so we're also going to see the changes in 4.7 and 4.8. So let me put it this way, always on screen. So Shift F12. So now I'm always on save, and we're going to go through the different parts of it. So first in the release 4.7, so in this release, let me check. Yeah, so a lot of things have been changed in the Applet Runner that is integrated with it, that allows you to add panels containing applets. So if I go in this time plugin settings, then you'll see much more setting in there. So first, we have better control over the cache, like for example, once a month, and you can also control the different parts. And then what you have now is also a section for file opening, and that means that if it recognizes a file extension for which there's already an applet for it, so let me show you, for example, the defaults. So you see, for example, if you have a PDF, in this case, it will launch this applet, which is a PDF viewer that is included, that is not included because it's online, so it will download it if it's not already in your cache, and it will show you the PDF using this applet. So this way you can have more quick view with different things. So you see videos and JSONs, and actually not the JPEGs, because the JPEGs are already installed inside on Commander Pro, but things like video and documents, for example, will be done on Commander Pro now. And you can always override it here by providing extension equal applet. Also a few improvements done also in the Applet Runner, like for example, it will show you which applet it's downloading. It's a much better download, and you'll have a lot of more change if you go to Applet Runner and see all the changes in there. So the text editor, has been improved. Oh yeah, the one is always on top. So here you'll see that it's underline, for example, it's better. The highlighted line which is selected is now better. There's also there was a error in there when you were opening, replacing the panel. That's been fixed. And now you also see in the toolbar, here's a Git branch if you're inside the directory, which is a Git directory. And also the toggle actions, for example, if you have, let me check. Oh yeah, the search replace, for example, which is a toggle action. You see that now it's working back again. It was broken in 4.6. Different actions. So let me go here, for example, let's go, because this one is a zip file. So when I enter the zip files, and now you see that this directory is read-only because it's just a zip file, and now I can no longer make a new directory. I can no longer move files or delete the files. And same thing here. If I've selected a file, for example, you see I cannot copy it or I cannot move it to this directory. And same thing here, I cannot move it and can only copy it. So a lot of improvement in which action is enabled when you are with a read-only directory. When also when you want to preview something, let me check the settings. Where is it? Okay, so I will put it back to. So when you want to preview it, will also. So it will also ask you, for example, do you want to update this preview when you say you change the selection? So if you want to see different parts, you say yes, then no, and then you can say, okay, always do like this or never do like this. So let's say if I do, yeah, because it's linked to a panel, so I don't have any other XML part here. Let's try to do always. And try to go to in tools and to open another selections, and you see it will update it in this case without asking. So this is the change that will do for you. Also replace panel in window. It's much better to remember the window, and when you are doing, let's say if I do here, and now is using the open files, now it's linked to this panel and not to the main panel. So yes, for files, WebDAV has been fixed. Now it also support HTTP4 and HTTP4S protocols, which are from Apache libraries. Now you can also drop files in the toolbar, I think, to open a new file. So let me do, you see that now you can drop it there, and then it will open in a new tab. In this case, so let's remove this tab, but I can also select multiple ones. Let's say I want to change, and so now you see you can open multiple ones. And also when starting in applet mode for Applet Runner, it was also fixed for on Commander Personal. And of course, as always, with version 4.7, there was also many improvements and bug fixes in the application framework. So now let's switch to version 4.8. 4.8 has been the directory panel, which is this kind of panel, has been improved. First, you could, if you had, let's say, if you were using select in directory, now you see that it selects the file, it was fixed. The icons that you see here are now loaded in the background, so now it's much faster to show. If I go there, then it you see this one was loaded in the background. And then it's a faster way to detect also symbol and link. So it's also going to show directories also faster. And the executable actually was not even loaded when you were showing an icon on a executable, and was not even showing. And since now that it's loaded in background, there used to be a cache for for example, for the executables and other directories, and now it's no longer used. And also directories. So before, let's say I was having a lot of directories like here, then each icon was loaded per directory, but since it's the same, so now it's cached also per directory, and then you have the same icon for all directory except your directories that are in your home directories. So 4.8 is also a major improvement in the terminal. So let's add the terminal. So you see, for example, on Windows, instead of just having the command line, now I have also PowerShell, Git Bash, and Cygwin, because also in my path directories, so it detects if you have one of these executable in your path environment and variable, and it will also add it to the possibilities. So let me first start with the normal command line probe. And now what you see, it's using the look and feel that you're using. So in this case, it's a dark look and feel. What has been improved is also this window. Let's look at it here. Now you have like tooltips for what this is doing, and then it's under better line feed for especially for macOS and Linux, so it knows it won't have any new lines. There were also many bug fixes, for example, on Linux. It's try to detect better to start the shell if the terminal is not there. Let me also show you some other ones. So let's open, for example, uh, PowerShell in this case. Let me put it there. So as you can see, you can also define the background if you want. It was a bit slow. There it is. So now you also have PowerShell, but you can also have, let's say, Git bash, Git bash, new tab, Git bash. So here you have, yeah. So you can also have things like Gits and so on over there, and also I can go here. You can also define the background and foreground color when it's in there. Alt up will also go one level up for you. So in this case, if I go here, I go Alt up, then you see it will go to the previous directory and update the breadcrumbs correctly. Better detection for this. So if you were using the terminal or are thinking about it, so just version 4.8 includes a lot of improvements for it. Let me check. And they have also getting the command from history has been improved. When you have directory with spaces, it's gonna add quotes automatically for different OS. And even for uncommanded personals, the command line, the standard one, not the pro one, but was not even started, so this also has been fixed. So what else? So Applet Runner, let me close this one. Applet Runner also been updated to a new release. So if you were using uncommanded personals, you had some problem with the tree, for example. So this has also been fixed, and also was some problem I think with this tree over there. So also some more fixes. So now when you have these execute actions, now all the disable actions are not shown anymore. So instead of having more actions that you could not click, then they're not even shown. What else do we have? Yes, if you have a jar file, let me go here. So yeah, I don't have any jar file over there, but if you have a jar file, then the execute command will execute a jar file on Linux. And what's happened if you execute normally a jar file on Linux, then it will try to see it as a zip file and uncompress it. So it will launch the unzip tool installed in your Linux distribution. So now if I detect if you have Java home environment variable set on Linux and execute, it will just execute the jar file as with the Java command. Also other things like so you have let me check not this one. So run as administrator, and also the other one which is open as. So these are Windows commands. Now they will also open the file, but from the directories of the file. And of course, as always, various bug fixes in the application framework. Let me close this one. And now to the latest version, the version 4.9 that you see now. So new things, you have colorize, so you have new actions for the tables. One is to colorize size and dates. So it will show you, so for example, I want to colorize the file size, the file dates, let's say based on the minimum. And now you'll see that it will colorize the background of the things. So in this case, the minimum is probably here, the 3 bytes. So you see the big files. So it's this way, it's way easier to detect the big files or the small files. And same thing for the date. So here's the minimum is 2021. And you see that a lot of dates are very recent in this case. So they're going to be colored like this. Let me remove it. So what was it? Colorize. So you can remove it, but you can also make it, for example, with the median or the average, which is so-called the mean. So if we go, for example, for the mean, you'll see that it will, the ones that are up are in green, the ones that are lower than the mean, in this case, are in red. So you see you have one big red, and because it's such difference between this and the other ones are not display like this. Colorize. So let me remove it. So here we have a new action for the table. So many fixes for the tree. Loadings of icons were not done correctly since probably 4.6 even. Expanding the tree. So when I was expanding the tree, like double click, for example, in this case in Java, it was opening a window, say, where do you want to open this location? So now you'll see, it will just put it over there, like this. It won't open the window anymore. So it will also, if you start with the Java location, then you can also define to expand it correctly when you start it again. The text editor, you see that when you open like a XML file, which is not defined as .xml, it will also use syntax highlight for it. Because if the file starts with question marks XML, it will consider it as an XML file also and try to use syntax highlight for it. Applet Runner also again been adapted with again more changes in it. Opening tar.js files has been fixed. That's been broken, I think, also since 4.6 probably. You can also drop files. So if I want to add a bookmark over there, I can also drop files here on the bookmark icon. So instead of having to add the bookmark part. The icons were actually loaded twice in the background, so now it's much faster because they're only loaded once. And for example, if you were managing bookmarks, let me check here. Oh, maybe here. So you see now you have better tooltips, you have the icon, you have the name, and you have a few improvements over there. And also when you're using the top use files, for example. Same part. Okay, now you have, let me check, you have something like if you want to compare files, size, for example here, what's the size between the different release. Now you have a new action, which is a show graph action. and it will show you the different files or different directories. Then you can go with different way to see them. Horizontal bar, this. You can take a screenshot of the graph in this case. And if you go with directories, so let me take a few directories and do the same thing about it. So here you have the directory, but you can also browse the directories and see the different spots. So here you can go with tools, and then you see it's mostly one file. And you can browse like this, the directories, take a screenshot. Same thing if I would go with horizontal bar. This one, this one are not directories, so you cannot click them, and this one is a directory. So new graph parts, and also if you show a tree map, you will also have. So let me show you again. Let's replace this panel with tree map grip. So here you can also show the same path, so in this case for all the files of the directories. Same thing, you can click in it. Let's again place it with it. Was it? Yes. Okay. Also new in this case is in the file stats. You have a new one which is size formatted. The attributes. And you see that depending if it's a megabyte or kilobyte, it will show the correct way. So this way it's more readable. Now you have a new action, which is go to text. So go to text field. And this way you can enter the entire URL over there. So it's good. In my case, it was useful because I wanted to go, I open it as zip. Text. So here I wanted to go to a previous version. So I just had to change this part and then I would go to other part. And same thing if you just copy it. So if you copy, for example, the location, then you can paste it with a different directory over there. The help over there, so I think it's Control H. It's again in the background, but it will show you in black, and used to be like the default font in this case was light gray, so it was light gray on white, which is not really readable. So now it's always showing in black. And so here, for example, we have this directory which was not selectable. So in this case, if we are if you use panel settings, it will always correct the last that you selected and not the one that is not last panel that was selectable. The on commander personal also has been improved. Now the installation is also smaller for macOS and Linux especially, and also a lot of things have been done in a faster startup of the application. And as always, many bug fixes in the application framework. So it was a long description of everything that has been done in On Commander Pro, but as you can see in the last changes, I've just mentioned the main ones because there was more like I think like more than 110 changes, and not counting all the changes in the thing like the Applet Runner or in the application framework. If you want to know more, go there. And changes, you'll see again the same list and all the different changes in the application framework since I think was beginning of March for the version 4.7 that was released. Again, thank you for watching. Yes, there are also videos on Commander Pro if you want to go on my channel. So just go over there and enjoy. Bye for now.